A mentor of mine once warned me not to get so busy in life that I just kind of rush through everything and not think. I have this tendency to just kind of wake up in the morning, get going on my task, kind of rush from one thing to the next without really stopping to think about what I'm doing, you know, whether I actually should be doing what I'm doing or whether I want to be doing what I'm doing. I just kind of do it, you know, you just get into the day. And man, it's like every once in a while I need to just kind of get away from my own little world and just pull away and escape and think for a moment. I mean, stop and think about life right now. Stop and think about the fact that right now, you and I are standing on a giant ball that's spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. Am I the only one that thinks this is weird? The fact that we're flying around this ball of fire that's like 1,000,000 times our size. We're flying around this thing at 67,000 miles an hour, and we just go, yeah, it's just another day. It's just another day. There's nothing normal about it. This place is amazing. It's gorgeous. Don't miss it. And think about these bodies we're living in right now. I mean, the way we're created to feel. You know the feelings you get when you first fall in love and you just want to scream to someone, you feel like something inside you is welling up? Or the feelings you get in relationship, like for me it's with my daughters, and I tell you, when I hug them, you know, it's like I've got all this emotion inside where I just want to squeeze them to death and scream out how much I love them. I'm just crazy about them. What is that? And even things like laughter, okay? Like most people never even think about laughter, but to me it's like, you know, when you laugh, whether you're a person that just, you know, just laughs your head off, or you're one of those people that just kind of goes, you know, and you're trying to hold it in. I mean, what is that? I mean, stop it. To me, that points to God. That makes me think, you know what? That is amazing that God would create something like laughter. You know, the Bible says there's no way you can experience all this, feel all this, and see all this, and then go, I think it just was all an accident. I think it just came from nowhere. There's no way. The Bible says that you have no excuse for not believing in God, because you can see God in everything. And I know when I talk about the Bible, people cringe because it just seems like every time you hear someone talk about the Bible, you get this feeling like they're trying to take something from you, you know. And some will flat out say, yeah, I want your money, but it's like, you gotta understand that the whole message of the Bible is not about this God in heaven who wants to take from you. It's about this God who wants to give to you. I mean, the fact that the Creator, the one who made all this, actually loves us and wants to give to us. And if you miss out on that, you're going to miss the whole point of your life. The message of the Bible isn't about how there's this awful being up in heaven who's given us these harsh commands that he just forces upon us. I mean, even his commands, people talk about them like they're a bad thing when his commands are a gift to us. They're a necessary thing. When he says, thou shalt not murder, he's just saying, look, you know, I think your life on earth would be better if you don't kill each other. When he says don't steal, don't rip each other off, he's saying, you know, this would be such a better place to live if you guys didn't rip each other off, you didn't lie to each other, you just kind of were honest with each other. And he says, you know, if you could love each other as much as you love yourself, this place would be amazing. But we look at these commands like they're an awful thing, when in reality we know in our hearts that these are good laws. They're necessary. That's why we get annoyed, we get angry when someone violates these laws, because it's a violation of us. It's hurting us, it's hurting someone else. We get angry. We don't want to see justice. You know, there are times when you almost want to see the wrath of God poured out on someone for violating these laws, because it's destructive. And God's saying, you know what, these laws are for you. I think where it gets tough is when we start looking at ourselves and we start thinking, okay, what about me? Like when I think about myself, I know I've broken these commands. I've broken a lot of the commands. And honestly, there's a side of me that freaks out, thinking, you know, what would it feel like to stand before this awesome, amazing God one day and have him question me? I used to not think about it a whole lot because I used to feel like I was a pretty good person. I feel like, you know, compared to a lot of other people, I'm good. You know, it's kind of like when you're in high school. Remember when you get in a classroom and the teacher would say, I'm going to grade the class on a curve, and you look around the class, you see some people that, you know, just aren't as sharp as you, and you kind of breathe a sigh of relief because you know that compared to them, you're totally fine. Well, I feel like we do the same thing with judgment. It's like we look around and we try to find the most evil people we can find in the world, and we'll say, gosh, that's so wicked, God's going to judge them. And what it does is it makes us feel okay about ourselves because compared to them, we look pretty good. The problem with this, though, is that God's not going to grade us on a curve. It's not like God's going to line us all up and say, you know what, you guys are more wicked than those guys, so you guys are the bad people, you're going to go to hell, and you guys are the good people, you're going to go to heaven. That's not what God's judgment's all about. It's about Him lining us up to His law, and as He goes through His law, it's really not going to take a whole lot of time before you realize that you're guilty. So think about this. God created you and I. He gives us these laws. We break His laws. So at the end of our lives, He has every right to punish us as severely as He sees fit. He's the Creator. And so if our lives ended that way with His punishment, that'd be perfectly fair, perfectly just. But I'm going to tell you the most amazing truth in the world, and you gotta get this.